Good afternoon, everybody. It is almost 1 o'clock on Thursday, the 22nd of October. As you guys might have seen on my video last night, I got a nice present. Had a good day. I worked. I had to go to work. But the evening was great. We went out to dinner. We went to Colton's, and I'm glad we went to Colton's because Colton's has some of my. I love Colton's food. I mean, grilled barbecue. I don't know if it would be considered Tex-Mex, but um, somebody call it cowboy food because the fact that everything's done on a grill or it's not most of it's not pan fried. Most of it's either grilled or smoked. Excuse me, coffee's starting to do what I like it to do. A little belch, a little gas, but hey. Um, so like we had, I get two things from Colton's. I don't know why I'm stuck on these particular two things. I either get mesquite grilled chicken or their Hawaiian grilled chicken. I got mesquite this time around. Um, but they have one of my favorite desserts. They have bread pudding, and I love bread pudding. And I don't remember if the bread pudding cravings or likes or however you want to put it started in New York. Because in New York, during certain times of the year, the Jewish community, which New York has a very large, predominant Jewish community, it's kind of like it's broke. I guess you'd say it's broken up into three different categories. You've got your Jewish communities, you got your Catholic community, and then for religion, you've got all the other little ones. Whether it's mainstream Christianity, it's also got let's just say it's got just about every religion you can consider thrown in there, except for maybe some of the what I call old school religion, the quote unquote pagan religions. Of course, most pagan communities don't come out as openly as everybody else does. But during the Jewish holidays, especially like Hanukkah, Yom Kippur, those are the two main ones I can remember off. Oh, Rosh Hashanah is the other one, I think. But during the Jewish religious holidays, they come out with bread pudding, noodle pudding, rice pudding. But one of the other things that they have in New York that I can't find anywhere else, and I'm kind of glad I don't because Jerry can't have them anymore. I shouldn't be having them, but they're the knish, the potato knish, which when they fry it up just right, and then you have a little brown mustard with it, it's like I'm sorry, I'm getting like I'm trying to not to drool all over myself about it, but I love them. I mean, Jerry loves them more than I do, but she's had them most of her life, so it was a new thing to me when I moved to New York. But it's it's something I do kind of miss when it comes to New York is the cuisine, the food. Um, I don't know how if we still lived out there, how active we would have gotten on YouTube. I think leaving New York was a good, yet it had its good points and it had its bad points. It's good that we left New York because we lost a lot during Sandy. Um, but it was a combination of Hurricane Sandy pushing us out, and we have thought about leaving New York anyhow because there was just too much of the negative aspect out there. I mean, for me anyhow, the constant noise, the hustle and bustle, the rudeness, the expense. But it's something we were dealing. It's something we've had to deal with. Anyhow, today, my plans, my hopes and plans are to get some work done around the house. I have today and tomorrow off, and I've already wasted, well, I shouldn't say wasted. We slept in a little bit, and then we took our time getting out of bed because, well, it was the day off and I needed some rest. Anyhow, I am planning on trying to finish up decorating. I don't know how Jerry feels about what we're going to decorate. I just want to clean. I don't know if I'm getting ready for winter type, trying to prepare myself in my house for the coming of winter. Now today here in Rolla, or in central Missouri, I don't know if it's just Rolla. I'm pretty sure it's most of central Missouri, possibly parts of southern Missouri because they're closer to the south. But today's high is supposed to be around 82, which is kind of funny because yesterday's high was only like 68. So yeah, welcome to autumn in the Midwest. Now I have a few people that I've become acquainted with through YouTube and TikTok that live in northern Missouri. In fact, this lady I think was like on the border of northern Missouri and is that Iowa that's above us? I have to look at a map because I don't remember what state is next. No, it's Nebraska, the Dakotas. Okay, so on the border between between Nebraska and Missouri, and they were getting. I think she got, or this person, I can't remember if it was a male or female. I don't say their names, but I know their name could be either masculine or feminine. Um, but they were talking about how they got like 2 inches worth of snow yesterday, and I just kind of went, "What? It's my birthday. That should be down here. I want snow. Um, I want snow because I like to watch it come down. I don't particularly like shoveling it. It hurts my back, and I don't particularly like driving in it. Not that I can't handle the driving in it, because usually if it's like snowing, I decrease my speed by about 10. So if it's just 30 miles per hour, I'm going 20. I watch the people drive around me. I watch people fishtail around corners and go, yeah, that's why I don't like driving on the snow, because there are people out there who just don't consider the slickness or sliding factor. In fact, somebody on YouTube actually put a bunch of pictures of people going too fast trying to turn a corner and sliding into the sidewalk or the curb on the other side of the road. That's one of the reasons. Well, it's one of the reasons why I'm kind of glad I'm not in New York, because I used to work at a job where my register was here. Excuse me. Let me get it into view. My register was here. The front door was here, and the street corner was right there. So I used to watch people fishtail around that corner all the time, going, "You end up in my store. That's money for my owner," because I wasn't the owner. I was just the person running the store. But it is coming. Um, Me and one of my coworkers who was watching a news clip about all the snow that's happening in Minnesota and watching the map for the last week, I'm like, I looked at it and just kind of went, yeah, how much you want to bet we're going to have snow here in Rolla, Missouri by Halloween? I think we might. The good chances are. Because if they're already getting hit the way they're getting hit now, and usually we don't get hit here until December, but if they're getting hit hard like they are now, we may have a white Christmas. I know the last 2 years, if I can remember correctly, um, we didn't have a white Christmas. We had a wet, rainy, cold Christmas. And I used to joke, it is December and it's raining that hard out there. We should not have rain. We should have, or not the fact that it was raining hard, but it was the fact that it was cold. And I was like, if it's this cold, it should not be white. It should not be clear liquid. It should be white, fluffy stuff. But that's my joke. That's my something's wrong with this state. It's wintertime and it's raining instead of snowing. Yeah, we're that state that basically the weatherman can say it's going to be sunny and we'll get rain, and the weatherman can say it's going to be rainy and we get sun. Yeah. And we wonder why Missourians who lived here in Missouri most, if not all their life, don't call it Missouri, they call it misery. Because the weather can be miserable. Or backwards. But whether the weather is what it is, rainy, snowy, sunny, we still have stuff to do in our lives, around our homes. We can't just sit there and let the weather determine how we're going to do stuff. Granted, the weather can affect our emotions, our bodies, our spirit, the whole shebang, which just proves one of my points. We are connected, even though we're supposed to be connected to God, our bodies, because God used the earth, basically, used dirt to create our bodies. Our bodies are still connected to the planet in more than one way. And it's one of the reasons why I have issues with people who don't think that what we're doing to the planet is harmful to us as people. And I'm like, well, then either you lost your connection to the planet or you're just blinded by your own arrogance. I don't call anybody stupid no more, because the factor intelligence is not measured by, well, intelligence is not measured by what you don't know, it's measured by what you do know. And, well, that varies from person to person, and of course, you don't really get intelligent. I don't really consider. I don't really consider intelligence to be a determining factor of a person, because I know plenty of people who have very little to no book smarts, and a lot of people will call them stupid, which I hate, because I don't have that much book smarts in the factor. I don't have a degree. I have a high school GED diploma. That's it. I may have an associate's degree with architectural design, but I don't know anymore because I don't remember getting any kind of certificate. Probably because I didn't complete the course, because I didn't get to do the second year. But there are a ton of people out there who have book smarts and have the diplomas and the degrees and all the plaques and whatnot to say that they went through X amount of years of college and whatnot, but have very little to no survival skills. They rely too much on their book knowledge. Where's, what level do you consider that person intelligent? Do you consider them intelligent because of the fact that they've got the degrees and the diplomas, but their survival skills out in the streets and whatnot are limited? Or is the person who grew up on the streets, has a high school diploma, but that's about it, may have a dead end job or a low level job like me? Um, do you consider them stupid because, or not stupid, unintelligent? There we go, unintelligent, because of the fact that they don't have a diploma or a degree or anything like that above high school? I think not. Because if this world falls into chaos and whatnot, and all the book smarts that people have um, may be useful for medical or things like that, but let's say you have a diploma or a degree or a bachelor, not even a bachelor, but you have a high level degree in nuclear physics or electrical engineering or things of modern day technology. Um, but the big man upstairs decides to go, oh, I'm going to throw you guys a curveball. EMP blast from unknown sources wipes out all electrical equipment, all nuclear equipment, all digital equipment, all modern day technology. Where does that leave a person with a degree in those fields? Back at the drawing board. Now, I can't say that I won't have issues or have problems because of who I am, but I'm pretty sure that I won't be too over worried about not having technology because I still have books to read for entertainment. I can finally stop. Literally, I'll be forced to stop playing video games and start doing more stuff. Um, so for a while, I might be a little bummed out, but it will force me to focus on more important things. And I think we all need that. I think what we need to do, in fact, that's an idea. I just came up with a crazy idea. I think what we all need to do is take a day, whether it's after work or a whole day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and just put aside the tech and spend more time doing other things than relying on technology for entertainment or information even. That's a crazy idea, but maybe I should try to do that. Anyhow, like I said earlier, today I'm going to try to do some more cleaning, hopefully. And I'm not going to I'm not going to ask Diane to be a big part of it because I want her to focus on herself today. Sounds a little not selfish, maybe self-sacrificing. But I think today I'm going to have her just focus on herself. I will try to spend the rest of the day doing cleaning projects that I can do on my own. Not that I don't want her help, but I want her to focus on her. Now, if I go to doing any of the holiday type stuff that I need her help with, I'll ask for her input, but I won't ask her to get up and do anything. Tomorrow, on the other hand, yeah, tomorrow we're gonna both get our hands into it. Because I think tomorrow is going to be the big push to finish up stuff. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to talk about certain things. I'm trying to avoid them for a number of different reasons. I'm going to talk about two things that one of them may cause issues. The other one hopefully won't cause issues. I have been trying to avoid talking about politics. Now, I'm not going to be talking I'm going to try not to be talking in a bashing situation. But unfortunately, the last couple of days, I've been noticing a lot of political stuff. And I'm not going to mention any names or any parties because both candidates are kind of in the middle. Well, I don't know if I would say in the middle or the cause or whatever. Now, most of you know I'm not a big supporter of Trump. Yes, I mentioned the name. I'm sorry. I'm not a big supporter of his. What's been happening with him and what's been happening to him as a person, I kind of feel sorry for him because as a person, it your character, and it doesn't matter if you're a political person, doesn't matter if you're a religious person, doesn't matter who you are. Your character kind of defines or helps define who you are and how people see you. Now, I know this for a fact because my character has changed. My character has been not so great from time to time. But when you're a person of such a status as president or vice president or member of the House or Congress or whatever political party you're in, or not even a political party, let's just not even talk about it. Let's say we're going to talk about it in a non-political way. Let's say you're the CEO, you're the owner of a company, and your character is kind of iffy. And because of your character, your company becomes a little iffy. And you have to deal with not only the people underneath you, the chair members, the board members, the employees, the managers, the co-owners, or not co-owners, the people who buy into your franchise or your company. And things start sliding downhill. Now, it doesn't matter whose fault it is, because that's one of the biggest things I am getting tired of when it comes to politics is the blame game. So-and-so wants to blame so-and-so because inadequate information or inadequate settings or whatever the issue is. But people are pointing fingers. And ultimately, because of the fact that you're on the top, you're at the top of the pyramid. You're the peak of the company. Ultimately, everybody's going to blame you because you're the one at the top. Now, I know the old expression, shite rolls downhill. Well, it doesn't always just roll downhill. It has to start somewhere, whether it gets tossed up the hill and then it rolls back down, getting bigger and bigger like a snowball. It happens. The thing is, you have two choices. Accept the problem, fix the problem, and implement plans to basically make sure the problem never happens again. Now, I don't know the full story of what's going on between the political parties and past political parties, past presidents, whatnot. I don't worry about the past. What I worry about is what is going to happen for the future. Now, I know certain factors from the past determine or help determine or shape the future. Look at the Bible. The Old Testament helped put the building blocks for the New Testament, and the New Testament was the final building, or the final building. Now, I'm not taking into account all the facts, all the information that's out there, whether it's on NBC.com or ABC.com or CNN.com or any of the different web pages or informational pages or wherever you can get the information. Now, yeah, I would like to see Trump voted out. But the thing is, I'm one person out of millions, maybe even billions, of American people. All I say is look at all the information. Don't just look at one party's information. Look at all the information. Take the blinders off if you think you have them on, or if you're not. I'm not saying that you're not looking at all the information, but don't just take one group or one person's take on it. Look up the information. Do the research. Basically educate yourself. My wife and I are always saying when it comes to certain things, educate yourself. Now, not taking any information from the past. Look at the last 4 years, not his whole life, not either party's whole life, just the last 4 years of both candidates, and make a determining factor of what you feel is better for you. I might decide I'm just not happy with either party and decide to go independent or just not vote, which is not really good, because if you don't vote, if you don't go vote, you don't really have to. In my mind, if you're not voting for somebody, you can't really complain about either party. If you decide to vote for Trump, that's your choice. If you decide to vote for Biden, that's your choice. But whether either candidate you vote for, once they're elected in office, you can either go, oh, I made a bad choice because this person is not doing what he said he was going to do. Or if you vote and the person you voted against gets reelected or elected in, vice versa, whatever, then you can complain because of the factor, oh man, my candidate would have done better. My choice of president would have done this and this. That's also your choice. But again, like I said, once you get up at that top ladder, you're in charge of the company. You're in charge of the ship, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there are people going to slander you. There are people who are going to make all kinds of negative comments towards you because of one reason or another. Whether it's out of spite, whether it's out of disgust, whether it's the fact that you disagree, whatever. And that brings me to what I really want to boil it down to. I don't usually compare politics with religion because they don't really mesh. Not that greatly anyhow. They could mesh if we did things differently. My Bible verse for the day is kind of interesting. And it's from Proverbs 18:4. And it says, "The words of the mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a rushing stream." The fountain of wisdom is a rushing stream. That's very interesting because of a lot of the things that I've been looking at, a lot of the things I've been reading up on or studying or trying to gain knowledge from or about. A lot of you know that my life is based in Christianity. I was born and raised a Christian. I have Christian roots. Just because I have Christian roots does not mean I'm going to be blinded by the church. And the reason why I say blinded by the church is because of the factor, a lot of groups, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that because there's a lot of different groups out there who basically take the Bible, take the Word of God, and use it for their own personal reasons or uses. There's a lot of groups out there who preach peace, preach love, and all that stuff, and use the Bible for their soapbox. I'm guilty of it from time to time, but I've learned to try not to. These groups, unfortunately, a couple of them have in the past used their understanding of the Bible to actually go against what the Bible really stands for. I mean, if you read between the lines, the Bible has two basic rules, or not rules, two basic standings, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But one is love. Jesus don't care what your skin color is, your background, your personal beliefs, your personal standings or whatnot. He loves you for who you are, no matter what. I can be sitting here with a Norse pagan. Well, some people say Norse pagan. A Nordic or Norse symbol behind me. It don't matter how far to the left or how far to the right I sway. He loves me for who I am, no matter what. Now, because of the factor that I believe that Jesus is in my heart, and I try my best to live by that upbringing. That's just a symbol. All right, I don't go into that Norse pagan lifestyle. I would love to go into the Norse or just Nordic lifestyle without having to deal with the religious aspect, which I'm trying. But the thing is, even a lot of the old school or pagan religions, their symbols have been twisted and used for hate crimes. The swastika, the bent cross, that was an old Chinese symbol, but Hitler decided to twist it into something negative. The second one, and I just lost it for a second. The first one is love. The second one is, dang it. I should have wrote down notes. But the foundation. Oh, unity. That's what it is. Living. It follows almost like the love thy neighbor type situation. It don't matter what. Oh no, I got it. Freedom of choice. The second one is freedom of choice. Freedom of choice and love. When Jesus did his preaches, when Jesus did his sermons, he did not say, convert or die. He basically said, it is your choice, but if you follow me, you will have eternal salvation. There will be a lot of people who would argue with me about those two foundations, because freedom of choice is a God-given right. We have the choice of making our own decisions. We have the choice of making our own way in life. We have the decision to do whatever we feel like doing. Now, that basically, that right there is something that a lot of people feel that it's like, there are various groups out there where it's like, oh, you're just doing this, this, and this because you're following along like a sheep. Well, every sheep has to have a leader. Whether you're following the shepherd's voice or you're following the ram, which in most cases one flock will have at least one ram, which is like the big boy. Not everybody is strong enough to go out or venture out on their own without some idea of what they're following or where they're going. Blindly venturing out on your own can be dangerous. It can be riddled with hazards, pitfalls, thorny bushes, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm talking about this in a very experienced attitude, because I was only a teenager when I lost my father. Now, I was following my father's. I was ready at a young age to follow in my father's footsteps. I was like, I'm going to join the military when I get old enough. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do just about everything my dad did. Well, after he passed away and I did not have any guidance or the basically the land underneath my footing kind of fell through. I did try to join the military. Didn't really make it that far because health issues. But that was after I spent years of wandering around, lost, looking for don't know what. And I did look in a lot of different places, different religions, different lifestyles, different ways of doing things. It shaped, forged, however you want to put it, me into the person I am. But the thing is, the ore, the base metal, however you want to put it, of my foundation never disappeared. I always turn back to Christianity, no matter what. This, the Nordic, the interest in the Nordic style, life, whatever, however you want to put it, call that part of my DNA, call that part of my constant learning of who I am. You know, you go out and you do a DNA test and you find out your DNA is from lands that had certain kinds of people, like mine had the Norse, the Celts. I think the Irish, the Scottish were also part of the Celtic people. Scots, Irish, well, without trying to name their historical names, basically, I have learned recently it's like Icelandic, Norwegian, Scandinavian, Dane, German, Scots, Irish, British. Basically, the map that the DNA ancestry people sent me was Iceland, across Iceland, all the way over to the Baltics, as far down as um, Germany, Ireland, basically all of the UK region. Basically, every place on our map was also the same place that the Norse people had settled or conquered or invaded in one way or another. All the way, even as far south as the Mediterranean. Yet they didn't mention anything about French or Spanish or Portuguese or Italian or anything like that. So because it didn't mention those particular countries as in having DNA from those countries, but yet the map shows that my DNA came from that region. But if you look at history, the the two groups of people who conquered or invaded most of that area for a long period of time was either the Norse or Germanic tribes of Germany. And if you look at the history, the Romans attempted to conquer that area, but they got to a point in Europe in the Germanic tribes where one particular ruler, king, warlord, however you want to call him, said, nope, gathered up all the remaining tribes of Germany and pushed all the way down to Rome until they were sitting at the doorstep of the Roman capital when Caesar or what emperor, whatever Roman leader, emperor, whatever, said, wait a minute, hold on. You're about ready to wipe out my whole nationality. What can I do to prevent that? And according to stories, the leader of this very large barbaric group said, everything in your treasury and then some. Nearly bankrupt Rome. Thank you. History can be a real pain in the butt when you dig into it. Now, there will be groups out there who go, no, that's not right. Look it up. It's a pain in the butt to find, but you can find it if you dig deep and hard enough. Unfortunately, I cannot put my resources down because I don't remember all of them. I just know it was in history, It was in a European history database. It was in Dramatic Tribe Empire versus Roman Empire, or something along that line. I don't remember the specific wording, but it's in there. But going back to the Bible verse, wisdom. Wisdom is one of the key things that has moved the world forward. And a lot of wisdom isn't just a simple, let's go crack open a book. It's reading, yeah, it is reading a lot about the past. It is being brave enough or having the courage and strength enough to experiment. In fact, if it wasn't for a lot of the experimentations of various people throughout history, medical experimentation, engineering experimentation, one of the biggest forefathers of a lot of modern day stuff is one particular character that I enjoyed reading up about. I enjoyed listening to Assassin's Creed using his historical background in the game for Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio, and that is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci had schematics, models, and done experimentation with flight, armory, and medicine. Leonardo's experimentation, especially in engineering, helped forefather the modern day tank, the modern day helicopter, the modern day plane. He was a big proponent of experimentation with engineering. His ideas came from nature. The first flying machine, he watched birds in their wing design and whatnot to create a model for a glider, which ended up becoming a plane. He also looked at the way certain plants would spin down to the ground. He used that to make the basic schematics for a helicopter. He looked at turtles and other such animals in nature to make what they called the turtle, which became a tank. And his first design for a tank was basically round. It had cannons in it that basically you could fire from within this armored shell. If it wasn't for him, who knows where our planes, our flying machines, our tanks, our armory, even guns would be today. Now, granted, Leonardo did not invent the gunpowder. That was a Chinese invention. But the idea of taking enough powder and loading it in a metal cylindrical tube to make a gun. First it was a cannon, but he was actually believed to have drawn up schematics for a hand cannon or gun, pistol, rifle type deal. That right there is wisdom. That's knowledge. That's going beyond what the world around you says is capable of doing. Back in Leonardo's time, everybody thought he was nuts for thinking that we could fly. Yeah. We now have the capability of not only flying transcontinental or from continent to continent, let alone state to state or country to country, but we're launching people and satellites and whatnot into space, which a lot of people said was impossible back during the pre-space race or space whatever it was back in the 60s. Was it 50s or 60s? I don't remember. Anyhow, I'm sorry for rattling on for almost 45 minutes. It's a combination of a lot of things on my brain and just, I don't know if I want to say that I'm attempting to pass on knowledge or information or whatnot, but Sometimes I talk just to get stuff off my chest. Sometimes I talk just out of control. I lose track of time, but sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Um, Sorry because the factor it's been so long, but not sorry because the factor I spoke so long. Because, yeah, like I said, I have a lot sometimes to get off my brain. I will say, though, I am sorry if I upset any apple carts, people, however you want to put it, with the discussion about politics. Like I said, I've been trying to keep politics out of my channels, but what's been going on lately just, yeah, couldn't contain it no more. Anywho, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you stayed to the end and enjoyed this conversation, give it a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the comment box. I will try to address it. Sorry, I'm tilting my head because oh, okay. Bible of the day or verse of the day just popped up on my notifications. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. I will do my best to address them in one way or another. If you're new to my channel and want to see more, hear more, whatnot, go ahead and tap on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put a new one up. If there's anybody out there who's actually watching these videos and thinks that they know somebody who might get something or be interested in some of my conversations or talks, however you want to put them, go ahead and try to get them to join. I'm not pushing for subscribers lately because it's a combination of, not that I'm looking for more subscribers, it's just the world right now is so messed up, chaotic. Some people might get inspiration to carry on. Some people might take information the wrong way and do something not so positive. So right now I'm just like happy where I'm at. But anyhow, talking too much and I have no more coffee. Until next time, have a good day. God bless. Be safe. Bye.